Genesis 1, and I'm going to verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And I'm not going to get into all that, all you people, firmament people. I'm not going to get into that today. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. So he did all this. He's saying, this is what I did. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas, and God saw that it was good. So when God says it's good, he's pretty happy with what that turned out to be, which is you also, by the way. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, and whose seed is in itself upon the earth," and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Again, he liked it. It was good. He was pleased. And the evening and the morning were the third day. It's really funny because sometimes I'll be reading and God will just drop little nuggets in my head for later. Third day. Okay. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth," and it was so. And God made two great lights, the great light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. I want to stop there. So we see that God created all these things, and he set them in their places, and he said they're going to be there forever because he said it was good. So we don't even doubt that, do we? We don't doubt that the sun's going to be there, the moon's going to be there. We don't ever doubt that, do we? Because he put them there. The ordinances of God are not to be broken. When he decrees a thing, it's going to be forever. And we can see in situations, sometimes in Scripture, the characters of God, even in the heathen. And one of these such people that I want to talk about who actually preserved the Jewish people was King, I'm going to say Xerxes, I'm not sure if that's right, or Ahasuerus, but Queen Esther's husband. Okay? And before, he had written an ordinance that could not be written away. And before I get to there, I want to talk about actually there's another ordinance that was also pressed. It had a possibility of going one way or the other, and that was just Queen Esther coming to the king unsummoned. There was an ordinance that if you came unsummoned, you could die that day unless he gave you the scepter or extended the scepter to you. If he extended the scepter, that was mercy. He extended mercy and you would live. I will hear your petition. But the reason why it's so in the scripture is because it rarely happened that way. That's why she had to know, hey, if you go, if I go in and he doesn't receive me, I'm dead. And Mordecai's basically saying, we're all dead anyway if you don't. Okay? So there was the decision that had to be made for such a time as this church. So she went in and she received the mercy, and he heard her petition and agreed to come to the feast. If you don't know the whole book of Esther, it's very short. You should go read it. It's full of really cool stuff. But so here it happens again where she understands that the decree that he wrote under the tutorship of Haman, that, hey, these Jews are bad people, we need to kill them all, write a decree that says we get to wipe them out. And so he did not understand that Esther was a Jew. He did not, and he just took his word from his right-hand man, that he was speaking truth into him without a bad motive. It wasn't going to benefit him, was it? Oh, it was going to benefit Mordecai. He was definitely going to fill his coffers with all that booty that was going to be out there from going and taking, killing the Jews. Absolutely. But King Xerxes, he thought Haman was giving him good counsel, but it wasn't good counsel. And God knew it wasn't good counsel. And so did Esther, and so did Mordecai. So again, Esther, after, Haman, the whole schmeal deal's done with Haman, Esther goes in again, unsummoned. So twice she goes in, possibly her life being forfeited. This time she didn't even think about it. She just goes and it says she throws herself down, crying, "You've got to do something about this ordinance." And he said, he says, I can't. I can't change the ordinance because the king's edict is never changed. It never is. And that is a characteristic of God's nature that was in that king, for bad or good, but he would not go back on his word. He would not go back on his word. So instead, let's write a different ordinance to cover this ordinance, which says all the Jews can fight for their lives as hard as they want to. Do you want to take them on? And so very little bloodshed was let because of that ordinance. The reason why I'm telling you that is because kings can't change ordinance, and he is our king, and he's not going to change his ordinances. However, if the enemy had known that by killing the Lord of glory that he would seal his fate, he would have never killed him. And the reason why I say that is because there may be an ordinance here, but God's got ordinance here and here and here that supersede the ordinance of right here. That's one of the things is when a prophet is prophesying and another prophet standing by has a greater revelation, he's supposed to get up here, or she supposed to get up here and say, hold it, it's going to go past that. Well, we haven't seen a lot of that, but it does happen from time to time, and it will happen more. Because God always has a greater than what you see.